Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna call the meeting to order.
Just 1 minute, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Not quite there. I just need to confirm.
Hey everyone.
Hey,
Hello.
Marshall.
Hey, Martell. How you doing?
This meeting is being recorded.
I'm good. I'm good, Lewis. How are you?
Fine. Okay, are we ready, Sue?
Yep.
Okay, welcome everybody, and I'm going to call the Board of Trustee meeting for February the 27th, 2023. It's 4:34 p.m. For the public school retirement system of the city of St. Louis. And I want to start off with the roll call and announcements of the quorum. So we do have a quorum, and let's have roll call.
Angela Banks. Christina Bennett.
Present.
Lewis Cross.
Present.
Sheila Goodwin.
Oh,
She was joining.
Hmm.
Shanice Johnson.
Present.
Donna Jones. Yvette Levy. She was unable to make it. Martell Mann.
Present.
Bobby Richardson.
Present.
Albert Sanders.
Present.
Doris Walker.
Present.
So we do have 7, so we do have a quorum.
Okay. First order of business is the approval of minutes of the last meeting. That would be in tab 1. Board of Trustees regular meeting December the 19th, 2022. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I would like to make the motion for the approval of the Board of Trustee regular meeting December 19, 2022.
There's second.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded by Doris Walker. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay. Now, we want to, at this point, welcome Miss Shanice Johnson, our new board member. And we want to say thank you so much for coming on board with us. And we look forward to working with you. And we've heard nothing but good things. Doris, from what Doris has said, it seems like you can walk on water. So we're waiting to see that. But Doris loves you to death. So, and welcome, Shanice. Do you want to have anything you want to say at this point?
No, I want to say thank you all for the opportunity. This is exciting for me. I've learned a lot over the last month or so about the operation. So, and just ready to serve. So thank you for allowing me to be here.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Okay, next, the reading of communications to the Board of Trustees. Do we have any, Sue?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. Presentations by interested parties. Do we have any of that?
I do not have anything.
Okay, consent agenda, that's tab 2. So let's move on to approval of retirements and benefits for January 2023 and February 2023. Is there a motion to approve that?
I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the retirements and benefits January 2023 and February 2023.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, it passes. Okay, approval of refunds January 2023 and bills December 2022 and January 2023. Is there a motion to approve that?
I'd like to make a motion for the approval of refunds, January 2023, and bills, December the 22nd and January 2023.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any abstentions? Okay, so it passes as well. Okay, we'll move on to unfinished business. Sue, do we have any, Matt?
I don't have anything.
Okay. All right. So then we'll go on to the report of the chairperson, and we're going to start off with our special presentations. The board voted to honor 3 of our former trustees with just a little token to let you know how much we appreciated your service on the board. And we're going to start with Darnetta. Are you still on your phone or are you on your laptop?
I'm on the phone. The laptop required a password and I couldn't go
I
find
got you.
that. So I'm
All right.
good.
Okay, well, Sue, could you read the inscription on the plaque first for us?
Okay, certainly. And so this is the plaque that we have. And it says, presented to trustee Darnetta Clinkscale in recognition and appreciation for your years of service to public school retirement system of the city of St. Louis, February 27th, 2023. Executive Director Susan Kane, Board Chairman Lewis Clinton Cross III, and Trustees Angela Banks, Christina Bennett, Sheila Goodwin, Shanice Johnson, Donna Jones, Yvette Levy, Martell Mann, Bobby Richardson, Dr. Albert Sanders, and Doris Walker.
Oh,
Well, congratulations. I can honestly say, Darnetta, that you were a pleasure to work with, and you helped me so much as I was starting off as a board member again after being absent for a while. And also we got a lot of things done, and I just appreciated you so much. Did you want to say something at this time?
Well, I would just like to say I really appreciated the opportunity to serve. I learned a lot. I met some wonderful people. I saw how dedicated the prior trustees were, as well as the ones that served with me. And thank you. I appreciate that. I enjoyed the time with the board, and I learned a lot. So I just thank you for the opportunity and thank the St. Louis Public School Board for allowing me to do that.
And thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the second one, and that is for Trustee Joseph Clark. Sue, could you read the inscription on that one for us?
All right.
Wait a minute, is Shameen on?
I do not see her or Justin on.
Okay, she's an alder person, and it's almost time for election. So, yeah. But Joe and I go way back. We played baseball together as kids. A lot of people don't know that Joe was one of the top athletes in the state of Missouri, and held numerous records in shot put, and also pitched about 2 or 3 no-hitters in baseball. And he was just, whatever he played, he did it so well that he excelled at the highest level. Joe played football for the University of Missouri in Columbia, and he was a guard, and he was a preseason All-American and slated to go high in the NFL draft. And of course, Joe decided that he wanted to go into plumbing and left and went to work with his father, who was the first Black master plumber in the city of St. Louis and the first Black alderman in the city of St. Louis. So there's a rich history with the Clark family, and his wife, Rochelle, was a former director of nursing for the St. Louis Public Schools. So we just wanted to thank Joe for, I think, is it 14 years of service, Sue?
I have 8 years as chairman of the board. I'm not exactly sure the number of years
Okay.
he was totally on the board, but
All
he
right.
was 8 years chairman.
Okay, well, 8 years as chair, and we just appreciate Joe and all of the things that he provided to our board, and just say thank you. And if Shameen should come on, we'll rehash this thing again. But and now we'll move on to Justin. And Justin just retired from the board. He didn't run again, and he was on our legislative committee, and he went up to Jeff City with us to try to get the legislators to put a cap on the amount of money that they are taking out of the money that they give the retirement system, cap it at 14%. And Justin was a hard worker. He co-chaired that committee, and also he's a master carpenter in the St. Louis Public Schools and a master carpenter in the trade unions. Before I retired, I was vice president of the Labor Council, and we worked with the Carpenters Union as well. But Justin was just a joy to work with, and just want to thank him so much for his dedication to the craft of working with retirement. He said it just opened his eyes every day because he finally got a chance to see where the money went. He was pretty pleased. But I just want to thank you all. Did you want to read the inscription on Justin's, Sue?
Sure. Presented to Trustee Justin Stein II in recognition and appreciation for your years of service to public school retirement system of the city of St. Louis, February 27th, 2023. And then it lists our names, executive director, board chairman, and all the trustees.
Okay. All right. Well, Darnetta, again, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
And
All
to
right.
the board members that I know, hello. And
Hey, Darnetta.
hello. And Doris, hi. How are you? Okay. Sorry, I just had to take that moment.
All right. And thank you so much, Darnetta. We look forward to coming back. The door's always open.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so the chairperson report, I'm going to start off by naming the co-chairs for the upcoming year. And I'll start off with the benefits committee. As you know, Sue was able to, along with the insurance company that we have. What's the name of that company again, Sue?
We work with Gallagher.
Gallagher, yes. So we have Medicare Advantage now, and a lot of the retirees slept it and didn't know that they had this coverage and that it was no premium. So we are pleased with that, and we want to. One of the things that I want to see happen is to make sure that everybody knows about the coverage so that they can take advantage of it. As you know, we pay $80 a month for every retiree, but if there's no premium to pay, then of course, retirement saves that money as well. So I have Donna Jones on benefits, and I'm going to ask Shanice, I'm going to ask you to work on that committee. And see if we can get the word out during that open enrollment, well, before the open enrollment period, and do whatever we can to see if we can get everybody that's Medicare eligible to at least know about the benefits and of the Medicare Complete and every other facet of all of the benefits that we have. Would you all be willing to serve in that capacity? Donna, is Donna on?
Donna is not.
Okay. As Shanice, would you be willing to serve on that?
Yes, I accept.
All right, thank you. Okay, trustee business. We're gonna ask Sheila Goodwin to remain on that, and Angie Banks will join Sheila for trustee business. For the investments, we will stay with Christina Bennett and Dr. Albert Sanders in that committee. Legislative, Doris Walker. Doris, you'll be on the legislative committee, rules and regulations, along with Yvette Levy. Personnel and contracts, Martell Mann and Bobby Richardson. Sue, did I go too fast?
No, I think I got it.
Okay. All right. And then what I normally do is I'll ask some of the board members to actually work on a second committee as well. And so I'll get to that later. But right now, I just wanted to give the basic co-chairs of each committee for the upcoming year. I know I've chatted with some of you all about possibly working on additional committees. But Doris, I know you wanted to do legislative. And if we can do anything to get them to cap that percentage at 14, that would be a blessing in disguise. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. And Shanice, we're looking forward to you and Donna working together on that benefits piece. Okay, any questions or concerns? Okay.
Louis,
Yes,
thing
Christina.
I would like to see with the committees, and I think we haven't done this in probably 8+ years. We did, if you recall, a big town hall. I don't know if it was at Harris Stowe or someplace where we brought retirees in just to give them an update on the plan, benefits, whatnot. And that was well attended years ago. And I think that this is a good time this year with all the changes and really to highlight some of the benefits, to have it at the university, whether it's SLU, whether it's Harris Stowe. And, we had presentations where people got to ask questions. So I think that if we start the year out and plan it, we should be good to have that by fall when we do roll out of benefits again. So it's just a recommendation, and it was well attended. And I think our retirees that didn't participate 8 to 10 years ago could benefit today.
Okay, maybe you could work with Shanice and Donna and all of the recollections that you have of how it worked. But I just want that to really flow. And I want everybody, I ran into a lot of retirees that are Medicare eligible, and they're saying that they didn't know about the Medicare Advantage. This is Sheila.
She has her hands up. She has her hand up. She's trying to speak.
Yeah.
Yes, this is Sheila. Sheila? Yeah, what's up? Okay. All right. Sheila said that meeting was at Carr Lane, Christina, but we can find a venue for it and just kind of do some things to make sure people know about all our benefits. And we can talk, Shanice, you and Donna can talk with Sue and Sheila and get that going. Okay, Sheila, are you on? Okay, all right, thank you. Goodbye. Okay, so let's see, where are we? Oh, yeah, so we had a meeting with the president of the school board, Dr. Nicole Williams. We had Matt was there, Sue was there. And we went over all of the things that we thought were important to get the board to freeze the amount of money at 14% that they take out. Don't go all the way down to 9%. And so we're supposed to meet with them again. You know, as I thought about it and being the former president of the Local 420 Union, we don't negotiate. But in this instance, we just wanted to get the information to them to let them know in no uncertain terms that at 14%, we could probably live with that. But if it went down to 9, it would cause a lot of problems. I know I'm rehashing something that we covered already, but I just wanted to let you all know the importance of that. So if anybody can do anything to help us with that, I appreciate your recommendations or suggestions. Sue, did you have anything to say on that topic?
I did not. I think Matt might.
Okay, Matt, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
I will include a portion of that in my legal report in closed session.
Sounds good. Sounds good. That's the last time we met. Matt Davis, the president of the school board, suggested that we look into becoming part of the state retirement plan. Well, there are a lot of hurdles and so forth, and Matt will probably discuss all those hurdles. And the first time we met, Dr. Adams suggested that we do a 401k. And, you know, that's just out of the question, and it just didn't flow well with any of us, because that just didn't make you, if anybody's seen a 401k recently, nobody would want to have their pension, be ready to retire and find out that half the money that you have is gone and you have to wait for it to come back. So we're not going to look at that kind of stuff. Sue, is this an appropriate time to let everybody know about Dawn?
I was gonna, I mean, we can't.
In your report?
I was gonna talk about that, yes.
Okay, all right, I won't steal your thunder, Sue, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We can do
All
it
right.
now if you want.
Okay, you can go on and do it now.
Okay, so we were notified earlier that Dawn, who is our insurance specialist, is planning to retire at the end of April. So Dawn's been in her current role for almost 7 years. She's been with the system for almost 10 years, started out in another position. So we are excited and happy for her. She's got some plans, some things that she wants to do, but we are also sorry to see her go. So we are actually already starting on recruitment for her position. Ideally, we would like to have a person coming on board, spend a little time with Dawn before she goes off on her retirement adventures. So again, she's going the end of April. So we have started recruitment. We're going to have advertisements in the St. Louis American for a couple weeks, the print as well as the online version, and then the St. Louis Post, the same. And then they also send out to all the other, like Indeed and all the other online job sources as well. So we have just started that process.
Sue,
Okay.
can you send the job description or a link to me, and I'll post it on my LinkedIn?
Okay, certainly will do.
Are you posting on LinkedIn?
That is one of the sites that the Post will do. And once I kind of see what that looks like, I have my own LinkedIn account, so I can do that as well. But we have it posted right now on our website, but I'll send that out to all the trustees as well.
Thank you.
And I did want to add that we do have a new company that does the maintenance and cleaning of our building. That's finalized now, Sue?
It is indeed, yes.
Okay, have they started?
Yep, they're doing a great job.
Okay, and so that's we're getting better every day. I mean, things are just shaping up, and you know, we had some hurdles that we had to overcome with the other place, but this seems to be working out well. And I was talking to Sue the other day about, you know, Biden said that in May there's no more COVID concerns and all this stuff. So we're gonna look at possibly doing some things with opening up the office, but we have some things that we have to look at, and we'll be talking more about that at our next meeting in April. but hopefully by May we might be able to have some kind of program where our retirees, if they want to come, I think everybody's very conditioned now to virtual, and a lot of people love that. So that's an option, and we'll look at some other things as well. That concludes my report. I'll move on to report of the executive director, Sue.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had a few items that I wanted to go over. On the office update sheet, which is in tab 4, I wanted to point out just a couple of things on that sheet. The first one is about a deceased retiree overpayment. And I wanted to mention it because it was kind of an unusual situation. We ended up collecting all of the money that had been overpaid. It was unusual in that the retired member was living abroad. They were living internationally, not living in this country. So all of our usual checks were not going to find an individual who's living abroad. So it ended up that the staff had been requested of the staff when this individual, we didn't know at the time, was going to live abroad, but had wanted to change their bank account to an international bank. Well, of course, the staff didn't approve that, so direct deposits continued to be made to a local bank. So when the family came back into St. Louis to close that bank account, they actually, the bank reached out and the family reached out to our office. We determined the amount of overpayments and we received that money back very promptly. So I just wanted to let everybody know it was a little over $10,000, but it was a different situation because somebody living abroad, we're not going to catch that on our normal checks. But because we did have checks and balances in place with what kind of bank account the person can have, that prevented that overpayment from not being collected. So I just wanted to mention that because I thought it was a very good resolve and, just kind of demonstrated the checks and balances that we do have in place. Again, it's hard to catch everything, but this was a time where it worked out well.
Okay.
The other thing I wanted to mention on the office update sheet is just the budget report, just talking about, kind of where we ended up with expenses for 2022, and then comparing that to prior year expenses. So we were just a little over 5.9 million, a little higher than that last year. And then you can see I've listed the other years previous, and these are actual expenses for these prior years. The largest item in our budget is generally the fees that we pay to our investment managers, our money managers. So, while it's a good thing that we spent a little less money this year, it was because it was kind of a difficult year. So, the values were down, so we didn't pay as much to those money managers. But I just wanted to provide that, kind of closure for the year and then compare it to the prior years, just to give the trustees an idea of how the expenses are, fairly stable, but there is going to be variations when, we see the market conditions as they were last year. And then also I have listed on this office update sheet, I have listed the conferences and their dates for 2023. The conferences that I have listed are those that have already been approved by the trustees. So that includes, looks like the first one up is MAPERS. That's going to be mid-July, and again, be back at the Lake of the Ozarks. The National Council on Teacher Retirement, that annual trustee workshop in July, is actually being moved from California to Williamsburg, Virginia. So that's a new location for that event. And then we also have NASP. Their conference is also in July in Philadelphia. Last year it was in Chicago, but it's in Philadelphia this year. And then the last conference that I have listed is just the annual NCTR conference that'll be in California in the beginning of October. So just wanted to get those dates out there. No registration is open yet. I'll be in touch when that registration starts opening for all these events, but just wanted to give everybody an idea of what those dates look like.
So, oh,
Yep.
Sheila has her hand up.
What'd you say, Chris?
Sheila had her hand up.
Oh, okay, Sheila. Can you hear her? Oh, she's having problems, so hold on. Sheila, you having problems with your phone? I mean, with your laptop? Okay, what was your question? Hold on, let me put you on speaker.
So, just want to verify.
Can you hear, Sue?
Conference, is it in June or July?
July. They moved it to July.
So we have 3 conferences in July.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 3 conferences in July. I had to turn the speaker off. We were getting an echo. Anything else you had to add? She's having trouble, so I'm just going to relay whatever she's asking on.
And just so everyone knows, I am on the NASP, no, not NASP, NCTR trustee workshop. So I'm on a committee for trustee education, and we just had a couple of meetings to finalize our agenda for the July 16th and 19th in Williamsburg conference.
Okay.
Very good. All right, anything else on the conferences? I had a few other items. All right. So next on my report is about the annual disclosure statement. This is the form that staff and trustees are asked to complete in January in compliance with our ethics, code of ethics policy. And I'm happy to report that all employees, all staff, and all trustees have completed, submitted that form. So we're all in compliance with that. The next item that I wanted to mention is about the meeting schedule. And the meeting schedule, there was a typo in the meeting that was approved at last month's meeting. I had April 16th, which was last year's meeting date. It really should be April 17th. So I wanted to point that out to the trustees. And then also we had some discussion about the dates for August and potentially December. I don't believe there's a finalized SLPS calendar, but the draft calendar that's out there, which comments were closed, I think, end of January at some point, does show schools starting on August 21st. So I know that was a concern that if we had a meeting on the same day, first day of school, that was a concern. So I didn't know if trustees wanted to take any action now or wait until we got that official word from the Board of Education once they approve that. Again, I'm sharing the calendar, the schedule, mainly because I had that incorrect date. So it should be April 17th instead of April 16th. But in doing that, I also wanted to mention that we do have a little bit of information from SLPS. So it looks like August 21st is the first day of school, or it's planned to be the first day of school.
Did anybody have any suggestions, or you all want to wait until we get closer to the time?
I would just recommend, because the first 2 weeks of school are pretty crazy. And I know the teachers go back usually the week before on the 14th. So, I'm not in the educational system, so either the 14th or 28th, but the 21st would be very difficult for those who are in the school system, education system, to try to attend a meeting.
Yeah, it looks like from that draft calendar, I think the 7th of August is when staff would go back.
Right. So I would recommend, because those are going to be 3 intense weeks. I would recommend we move it to the 28th.
To the 25th,
28th.
28th, that next Monday.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other suggestions on that?
Okay, I do have a motion if we were going to take any action. So
Oh, Sheila has a question, Louis.
Oh, she does? Here she comes now. Hold on. Okay, Sheila, what's your question? Right. She's saying the first 2 weeks of school that you don't have any kids. They start on the 7th and you don't have any kids. And she's saying that that might be a better time to have the August meeting than to have it on the, what did you say, Chris, the 25th?
28th.
Okay. So what's the pleasure? Does someone want to make a motion?
No, I before you do that motion, I just need to say this. You have to take into consideration the principals, because they're going to be tired, and Yvette is a principal. Dr. Sanders worked for the board. So you got to take into effect their schedule might conflict with this too. I want to go with what Christine said.
Oh, the 25th?
28th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Dr. Sanders, what is your pleasure?
I'm sorry. I was talking with the mute on.
Okay.
I was like, why you interrupt me?
I didn't hear you until just now. I didn't, but we needed to know.
It was the mute was on.
I see.
No, I agree. I like the 28th better than the first couple weeks, because even
28th?
those first couple weeks, like the 7th and the 14th, it's still we're at school all day, and I'd rather do it once we're used to being in school and knowing this is coming before, because when I get off work after PDs, I just want to chill and don't want to do it. So I'd rather do it on the 28th.
25th or the 28th?
Dude, it's always the 28th. Stop saying the 25th.
Okay, sir. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, Sheila. So what are you saying? Okay, Sheila's saying the 14th. You're saying the 28th. So,
well, I work in the school too. So
wait a minute, Bobby.
Like I work in the school too. So the first 2 weeks, as they were saying, is PD day. So we have no kids. But the kids come the 3rd week. So the 28th will be a busy Monday for us in the school.
All right. So
I can agree with the 14th.
The 28th, you said be busy for us in school, but that is the 28th is after it's the 4th week.
Right.
Like the 21st is our first day of school. And so the 28th
for the
is
kids,
the following week.
right, for the kids, right.
Right.
Okay. What we need now is a motion, you all. Somebody make a motion on.
I'll make a motion.
Well, I have something, but it doesn't have a date. I'll just put it up, but it doesn't have a date specifically in there, but.
What'd you say, Sheila? Right. Okay. So the motion is, who's going to read the motion?
I am.
Okay, Al.
I make a motion to accept the revised 2023 Board of Trustees regular meeting schedule that includes the correction from April 16th to April
Not April,
15th. No, it was two
That's
different
the
changes.
revised.
August. August.
That improves the date change in April. And also the date change in August from the 21st to the 28th.
I second.
We're gonna take a roll call vote, Sue?
Is there any other discussion?
Oh, yeah, is there any other discussion? Sheila, you have some discussion. Sheila's saying that she prefer that it be on the 14th because there are no kids.
And I do too, the 14th.
And Bobby's saying the 14th instead of the 28th.
And I on the 14th, I mean, that sounds amazing. But on the 14th, there's no kids, and I don't want to see you all either. I just think it's better to put work. I think it's better to put work when we're all working. I think we all working that day anyway, so I think it's just better to leave that.
Yeah, but it'd be a less stressful day. On the 28th, you're dealing with all your students.
Okay, well, at this, do you all want to? I mean, where are we with this? Do you want to?
We're taking a vote.
You've got to take a vote.
Yeah. Do you want to do a roll call vote, Sue?
Yeah, we can, and then see what happens.
Okay, so we're gonna take a roll call vote. Sheila, what's your vote?
Okay, well, we're gonna start like we normally do. We'll start with Angie Banks.
Yes.
Christina Bennett.
Yes.
Lewis Cross.
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay, Sheila Goodwin.
She said no.
Okay. Shanice Johnson.
Yes.
Martell Mann.
Yes.
Bobby Richardson.
No.
Albert Sanders.
Yes.
Doris Walker.
Yes.
All right, so we do have 6 yeses, 2 noes, and 1 abstention.
Okay, so the 28th will be the new date.
Yeah, so
August 28th.
Yes.
And again, I apologize for that April date. So that'll be April 17th and then August 28th. And I'll get a new schedule.
Okay,
out.
Sheila, so it's gonna be the 28th. All right.
Okay, next on my report is the cyber insurance. I included a memo in the packet, again, tab 4, talking about what happened with the cyber insurance renewal. At the December meeting, that was all still ongoing. We had not gotten firm quotes back on our cyber policy, which was expiring mid-December, but that was extended a couple times. So eventually it was extended just to the end of January. So the renewal that came in from Beasley, who was our cyber liability policy provider at the time, was much more higher premium than we had expected, and Gallagher, who is the consultant that handles that as well. So essentially what they learned is that Beasley really didn't want to be involved with public. They kind of lumped us in with public sector municipalities, cities, counties, things like that. Even though that's not our business, they had lumped us in with that, and they really did not want that business anymore. So they gave us a very high renewal. Last year's premium was a little more than $4,000. This year's premium from Beasley came in at over $30,000. So it was quite an increase. So Gallagher was able to go out into the market, and they were able to solicit other quotes. And those quotes came in very close to the end of when the policy was to expire. Beasley was not going to extend it any further. It was going to expire on January 31st. So at the December board meeting, the trustees had approved a budget of $10,000 for this policy. Because at the time we had no knowledge that the premium quotes were going to be so high. So the board had authorized us to continue negotiating up to a $10,000 premium. The premiums that came in that Gallagher had recommended was from a company called Sampo. And Sampo gave two quotes, one for a little bit higher retention or deductible level than the other. So we had two different retention levels in there, so two different premium levels. Gallagher is comfortable with Sampo. They work with them on other cases and they write other types of policies. So, sorry, my camera, but I'm still here. So the Sampo, they do write other types of policies, not just cyber liability. So they really did recommend that we work with Sampo, but because we were so close to to the expiration of the policy, we looked at what kind of our options were in addition to scheduling a special meeting. So the trustees had authorized $10,000 at the December board meeting. There was an additional amount that the officers can authorize up to $10,000 on an emergency basis. So that is chairperson, vice chairperson, and the treasurer. So we did meet with Gallagher, and the chairperson and the officers did agree with Gallagher's recommendation to move forward with Sampo. So that is what we did. But also in keeping with our policy, we do need to come back to the trustees and let the trustees know what happened, and then get basically verification, confirmation on that particular decision. So that's our next item. So any questions about that though, as I put the motion up?
No. Sue, I'd like to make a motion, or Louis, I'd like to make a motion to ratify and approve the actions taken by the retirement chairperson, vice chairperson, and treasurer to approve the city cyber policy from Sampo for $18,451.
I'm sorry, is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Okay, we'll take a roll call vote on that, Sue.
Okay, Angela Banks?
Yes.
Christina Bennett?
Yes.
Louis
Yes,
Cross?
Yes. Hello?
Sheila Goodwin?
Yes.
Shanice Johnson?
Yes.
Martell Mann?
Yes.
Bobby Richardson?
Yes.
Albert Sanders?
Yes.
Doris Walker?
Yes.
Okay, so we do have 9. The motion carries. I have two more items. The next is regarding our system. So again, a memo included in the packet that talks about our system that we are currently using. Our pension administration system was implemented in November of 2020, and it has done a great job of pulling all of the data together. So all of our data, different spreadsheets for St. Louis Public, retired members, charter schools, used to be separate. Now it's all housed in this one system. It's a good system. It's functioning fine. but it does not have some of the features that you would expect to see in a system such as ours. There's no self-service. There's also, most of the functions are done technical. So as an example, our retiree payroll must be performed by our technology manager, because these are technical functions. So we also have one developer that's largely worked on this. And so we do have some concerns about one individual really having all the ins and outs of the system, as opposed to other systems that are now available in the market that would be fully supported by a team of individuals. So in the 2023 operating budget, we requested, and the trustees did approve, a dollar amount of $125,000 to work with a consultant to help us kind of analyze our current system, and then going forward, if they recommend that our current system is really not the long-term solution, which is what we believe, is that we need to have a different long-term plan. If they recommend that, that also gives us funding for working on RFP recommendations from that consultant. But the other thing that I wanted to mention to the trustees is that this would just be the start of the process. So if the trustees are, again, have already approved that in the budget, but if the trustees are good with us getting started, it means that at some point we're going to have to spend a few $1 million, most likely, to purchase a new system. That would be done over a period of time. It would not be done, in 1 year, but it would take potentially 2 to 3 years before we could be finished with that implementation process. So I wanted to mention that, we're asking to start, we've asked already in this year's budget to start $125,000, but at the same time, we know that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just the beginning. That's just the start of, what we're going to need going forward. So what we're asking for today is a recommendation to approve Siegel to be our consultant. We met with 2 firms, got 2 quotes in last fall, Linea Solutions and Siegel. And both are very capable of doing the work. The nice thing about Siegel is the team that would do the work is headquartered here in Missouri, and our local contact would be actually here in St. Louis as well. So that is what I wanted to discuss with the trustees today. And it looks like, Christina, you had a question?
I do. So you said we implemented this in 2020. What was the cost of the WIN system?
So this was done over many, many years. So I don't know what the exact cost is, because this was done over, probably 5 to 10 years. And this was working with an outside programmer the entirety of the project. So by the time I came on board, it was ready for implementation. So the cost was pretty small. We're typically spending about $25,000 to $30,000 a year just for maintenance with our current programming consultant.
Yep, I remember that. I remember it now. It was very specialized and custom built for us.
Yes.
Base platform. Again, the notion was we had a director of IT that really managed all of that. Yep, if I recall correctly. And so should we start budgeting or setting aside money in cash for something like this? And when do you anticipate we would need to do that cash outlay for some type of, I'm assuming this is recording, and this is a software platform that would record the benefits. I'm just going through Oracle NetSuite right now, so I get it. Where it would allow for a portal for potentially retirees to look at their accruals. And what do we estimate that would be in the next, if we're looking at 5 years, right? What would that cost be going forward? Do we know? And Angie has her hand up.
Yeah, so I'll answer that real quick, and then so what we've been told when just preliminary discussions is it could be anywhere from $2 to $4 million, but we would not know that until we actually, embark on this project. The one thing that I would say is we do have a nice opportunity right now with the savings, about $1 million a year on our Medicare Advantage premiums. That gives us a nice savings in our budget over the next 3 years to do this. Okay, Angie.
Yeah, I just had a question. I guess I didn't understand what the Siegel group was doing, if they were just helping us to look for opportunities or if they're going to actually be working on developing a system. And I guess secondarily, my question is, have we talked to other pension plans similar to our size to see what kind of systems that they're using?
Yes, so yes and yes. Siegel would be doing not development on a new system, but they would be assisting us with, again, analyzing our system and looking at, what are its shortcomings, and then figuring out what do we need going forward. So if they recommend we really need a different system, then they would help us put that all together. And then they would assist us with the RFP process, demos, vendors. And then if a new system is selected, another part of the project would then be working with that vendor to make sure that they are able to, again, meet all the milestones and all the targets. So yes, I have talked with other systems, and there are, again, I hate to say off the shelf systems out there that, most systems are using. Again, the system that we have now has been great for putting all of the data together. We probably couldn't proceed at looking with another system if we didn't have all of our data in one place. It would be a nightmare, maybe undoable. But so having a system developed internally is it's not something long term that we feel comfortable with. This developer consultant, when they decide to retire, what does that do? How do we keep moving forward with this system? So we need more of a package, a custom support that we just don't have right now. Again, the system is stable. There's nothing wrong with the system today other than it has some limitations of some things. But at the same time, we don't want to wait until there is a problem. We want to be somewhat proactive. And then we didn't want to proceed with moving forward with our consultant without at least mentioning that this would be quite a big expenditure at some point going forward.
So Sue, how long is this contract for?
So it would really just be for this year. And then once we figure out what everything looks like, then we would look at what additional costs there might be, including for the whole system.
So the analyzing the system, assisting with, so we would go out to RFP within the 12 months of their contract?
Most likely we could do it later. We could start later this year. We may not finish until in 24, but most likely we'll get started later this year.
So they would take us from beginning to recommendation of a system for the 125, or is it a hard 12 months whether we get there or not?
No, it's that timeline that we need the recommendation of 125. And again, they gave us a range. So I went with the highest amount. It might not actually be as much, but they gave us a range of cost. But I went with the highest for that part of the project. Then once we get to a system that's recommended, then there would be a second phase of the project where we would then have to work with Siegel still to implement this new system.
So we could have another consulting contract.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly that we will have a contract. Again, we'll have to look at it. I haven't seen any contract terms to know, what that all looks like. They've given us a proposal. So I don't know, there's no dates on there. So I don't know what the actual document that we'll sign once we get going would look like.
Okay.
So any other questions? So I did have another motion then.
Do I have a question before the motion goes? Is that okay?
Certainly.
Just wanted to clarify something. When you, in your report, it has a couple of different retirement systems listed that works with Siegel, is that correct?
Yeah, just giving some ideas of different systems that they have worked with.
Right, and so I guess my question coming in with those systems, do they have some recommendations in terms of an implementation platform to cut down on some of the vetting process, if you will, of alternative technologies for us?
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
okay.
Based on our size, we would most likely, there's only a few vendors. I think there's maybe 6 or 7 vendors in this space. And based on our size, there's maybe 2 or 3 that would work for us. So yes, that would be the advantage of working with a company that does this all the time, is yes, we could maybe go to those companies that, are more likely to be able to accommodate what we need.
Okay, thank you.
Lewis, I'd like to make a motion to approve the retirement staff recommendation to select Siegel as a consultant to review the pension administration system's needs at a cost not to exceed $125,000, which was included in the 2023 operating budget.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion? Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Last time, so we'll take a roll call vote.
Angela Banks?
Yes.
Christina Bennett?
Yes.
Lewis Cross?
Yes. What are you voting, Sheila?
Sheila Goodwin?
Okay. All right. But Sheila said she had a question. It was too late. What are you saying? Are you voting yes or no? Hello? She said yes.
Okay. Shanice Johnson?
Yes.
Martell Mann?
Yes.
Bobby Richardson?
Yes.
Albert Sanders?
Yes.
Doris Walker?
Yes.
All right, so we have 9, so the motion carries. So again, thank you, and we will certainly, obviously, moving forward with the trustees, keeping you updated on this. And one final item, and again, this is connected to Dawn's retirement. One of the things that Chairman Cross had mentioned in December, and one of the things that we have talked about for some time, is having some official performance evaluation system for our staff here. And so I've been talking with a few HR consulting firms, had included some dollars in our 2023 operating budget again. So I'm still working with those firms to get proposals. I have a couple that I'm working with, but I just wanted to again, move forward on this so we could get going with Dawn's position out there, is that part of the process would be also setting up a salary compensation structure. Because right now we don't have any salary ranges, we don't have any structure at all. So would like this HR consultant to kind of review that, as well as assisting with job descriptions and then developing evaluation, performance evaluation systems so that we could get moving on that. So I've gotten a couple, talked with a couple of HR consultants, and I think, we can go less than the amount that I included in the budget, but it was $20,000 in the budget, but I just wanted to bring that up, and I do have a motion for that as well to allow me to kind of move forward on that right now. Not necessarily implementing anything, but to work with the HR consultant now to get started on that process.
Okay, you're gonna pinch that in, Sue?
Yeah, I didn't know if there were any questions.
Are there
I
any
have a
questions
question.
or concerns? Who is that?
Angie,
Okay, Angie, go ahead.
I guess I'm just wondering, how many staff do we have at the system?
We have 6 in addition to myself.
I have a question. Has any thought going into maybe seeking one of the local companies to do pro bono work, to do the assessment piece of it at the very least? Some of our local accounting consultancy firms do pro bono work since we're nonprofit.
No, I had not investigated that, didn't know if that would be something that would be an option.
All right, and I don't know, again, the process for it. I just know some of the entities that I've worked with, I've had some pro bono work done before.
Well, could you get with Sue, and if somebody's gonna do it pro bono, then I'm pretty sure we can include that in the process.
Yes.
I guess my concern, and I'm pretty sure every trustee's concern, is that we need an evaluative tool for staff so that when it comes time for raises and things of that nature, we have something to look at, to, how well they've been doing the course of the year and all those kind of things. And like Sue said, we currently didn't have that. So if you have that, Shanice, that's fine. And Sue, you can get what you have, and then we can take a look at all of it. And of course, if it's pro bono and it's going to help us, then we'll look at that as well.
So I just want to clarify that it'll be the assessment piece that's pro bono. The tool probably will still cost, but the piece to see what we need, that portion of it.
All right.
And
go ahead, Al.
No, thank you, Trustee. Chairman. I guess my question was about we got to hire a new person soon, and we're just going out there. We're probably going off, but based on what she made. So I think it's important to to get a salary schedule for the different jobs as soon as possible. I guess, not so that when somebody else retires, when Terry decides to quit or retire. When Terry decides to retire, we already know what we can offer that person that takes his place, instead of just always just saying, "Okay, Lord, coming to us."
Okay.
But does it make sense? I should stop joking. But no, seriously though, every time somebody retires, even when we hired Susan as executive director, we had to come up with a number, based on other things. But we should have some kind of salary schedule, because every job you go to has a salary schedule for that position.
Well, again, and we have to look at, one of the things that has been lacking is this portion of HR on evaluations compensation over the last 20 years. So Shanice, I've just been on this board for way too long, but the entire time I've been here since 2005, we have not had an effective tool to measure our executive director and or our staff. So everything has been kind of subjective. Sometimes our reporting and actions are not in personnel files. So it made it very difficult as a board to really look at the totality of somebody's greatness or weaknesses, right? So we've used simple, maybe some standardized forms, but nobody's ever looked at them to see if they're actually accurate, right? Or if they're even up to par to what the HR industries are today. So, Sue's been with us, 2 years now, Sue?
That's correct.
And we still are trying to battle this. And so, I'm going through this at City Hall as well, as looking at, well, so-and-so made this, so it's okay to give a little bit more than what Jane Doe made. And there's no rhyme or rationale behind it. And so we need to look at skill sets and what we can bring to the table. So I'm for getting a consultant to just look at our platform, look at our employees, look at their pay scales, look at what we should be paying, and bring everything up to current market standards. Because we have not done that, we could be below market for our own employees. And that's not what we want either. We want to know if we're in the ballpark of what is market rate today. So I'm for a consultant to just establish it, get it moving forward, and then work on it, every 5 years or something, looking at it. But we have no substantive format at the moment.
Well, the new co-chair for that particular area would be personnel professional contracts, I think, and that would be Martell and Bobby. So you all can have at it, and anybody who wants to get with them on that, you're welcome to. Shanice, Christina, Al, whoever, just so that we can have some structure. And I think that's the goal, the ultimate goal.
100% agree.
Okay. So where are we, Sue? Okay.
Yeah, I do have that motion. I don't know if we want to tweak it a little bit to talk about potentially trying to get some pro bono work done on this.
Shanice, do you want to add anything and read the motion and add something to that end?
Honestly, I don't, because as she just said, I don't want to bog down the process. I already sent out a text to see how to go about it. So I'll have my answer in the next day or two. So give me a day or two. That's it. After that, okay. Move forward. So no modification to it.
Okay.
You want to read it, Shanice?
I can. I move to authorize the executive director to work with an HR consultant on a special project to establish compensation and performance management structure at a cost not to exceed $20,000, which was included in the 2023 operating budget.
Richardson second. Richardson second.
Okay. Any additional discussion? Any additional discussion? Last time, any additional discussion? Okay, then we'll take a roll call vote.
Angela Banks?
Yes.
Christina Bennett?
Yes.
Lewis Cross?
Yes.
Sheila Goodwin?
Sheila didn't call me this time. Does she have her hand up?
I think she was trying to maybe see if she can give us a thumbs up.
Okay.
We'll come back to her.
Wait a minute, here she is now.
Okay.
What did you say, Sheila? She said yes.
Okay. Shanice Johnson?
Yes.
Martell Mann?
Yes.
Bobby Richardson?
Yes.
Albert Sanders?
Yes.
And Doris Thacker?
Yes.
So again, we have 9, the motion carries.
Okay.
And that is the end of my report. So thank you again. Sorry that was long, but a lot of items to get started on for the year. So thank you all very much.
Well, thank you, Sue. Report of the investment committee. Investment consultant, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there is no report.
No report. Report of actuary, there's no report. Is that as well, right, Sue?
That's correct.
Okay, report of the committee's benefits and benefits. That would be Donna Jones and Trustee Bobby Richardson.
No report at this time.
Okay, Trustee Business, Sheila Goodwin and Doris Walker.
Tab 3 has our report.
Okay. All right. Did you want to read it or address it, or just let everybody can just review it?
They can review it. They already voted on it.
All right. Okay, Doris. Investment Committee report. Christina, you have anything to add, you and Al and Martell?
No report. It's in tab 3, like Doris said.
Tab 3. Okay. Legislative rules and regulations. Al?
And you're on mute again, Dr. Sanders.
Dr. Sanders, are you there?
No report. It's in tab 3.
All right, sir. Thank you. And then personnel and professional contracts, Yvette and Angie Banks. Any report?
No report.
Okay, Angie, thank you. All right, new business. Sue, we have any new business?
I don't have anything.
All right, now we go to the report of the attorney. Matt?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes, Chairman Cross. I just have a few items that I recommend we go in a closed session to discuss.
Okay. Is there something you can pinch in for the motion to go to closed session? Okay, Shanice. We're gonna break you in, right?
I was gonna say that was okay. I move to close the meeting and all records and votes to the extent permitted by law pertaining to and or resulting from this closed meeting to be closed under Missouri Statute 610.021, 1 and 12 for the purpose of having a confidential or privileged communication with the legal counsel for the retirement system on legal matters.
Second.
Richardson, second.
Okay, any further discussion? Then we'll take a roll call vote.
Angela Banks,
Yes.
Christina Bennett,
Yes.
Lois Cross,
Yes.
Sheila Goodwin.
Yes.
Okay. Shanice Johnson,
Yes.
Martell Mann,
Yes.
Bobby Richardson,
Yes.
Albert Sanders,
Yes.
Doris Walker.
Yes.
All right, so again, 9, the motion carries. Let me.
Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, what's next? Adjournment?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Sue, are we back? Are we back live?
Yeah, I just needed to verify that. Let me start.
Yes, Sue I was waiting on Sue to tell me we were live.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes, I would like a motion for adjournment.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. It is now 6:06, and thank you all so much for your time and support, and then we'll see you next time.
All right.
Goodbye.
Okay. Again, welcome, Shanice.
Hi, Bobby.
Yes, Denise.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Especially when you can get us some free stuff. That's perfect.
Oh, I like free. Free is good. Free is good.
Yes, Lord. Free's good. Okay, I'll see you all next time.
All right.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Sorry about my camera. I don't know what happened, so I'll have to figure it out. But
Okay.
thank you all. Have a good night.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.